Man. Oh, my Lakers lost, y'all. I'm so disappointed. But you know what? I'm not worried about it because we're going to talk about it today. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Talk back or fall back. Class is in session. Let's go.
Masterpiece unscripted, vibe so lifted, mic stay hot and the culture gifted. Talking real talk, no script, no gimmicks, where the culture talks back. Yeah, we in it.
What's up, y'all? Yeah. We here. We back. Another episode of Masterpiece Unscripted. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the family. Isaiah, what's going on, my man?
My brother Rod, how you doing, man? How'd you sleep last night?
I slept wonderful. I slept wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. I did say, we was, Lakers winning in 7.
Yeah, you did say that. Something else happened.
I did, yeah. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So the Lakers had a upset. Yes, the Minnesota Timberwolves went into LA and they absolutely made the Lakers look like the Clippers, the older Clippers when they were the laughing stock of LA. Yeah. So what do you think about that, man? Let me ask you a question. Do you think the Lakers dynasty is dead?
Well, first, let me add on to what you said. They didn't just go into their house and beat them down. They went into their house. They kicked up their feet. They got a soda, like Chris Broussard said, some chips, and literally just in a bathrobe, and literally made themselves at home. So is the Lakers dynasty dead? I mean, yes, I think because I think you guys have a good building block in Luka Doncic, but that hero ball stuff, which everybody talks about, if I'm going one-on-one and I'm holding the ball so much and I'm not getting the other 5 players involved, that's not how the championship teams now in the NBA that are contenders, that's not how they play. So Luka has got to compromise on that style of play. And I think that, also JJ Redick, he's a lot more of, a lot of systems that he's played in. He's never really played in, he's played in Orlando and stuff too. He's kind of played in system, but I think he prefers, for what we see is like quick actions and, just offense instead of like the 5-man basketball. So y'all have a lot of rebuilding to do. And I don't know particularly who y'all are going to get to come to LA. And so I know we've debated about that in the past, but I just don't really see anybody just willingly like, hey, I want to go to LA. Like, because it's kind of, if you think about it, you get knocked out in the first round, you're pretty much a bottom Western Conference team. When I say bottom, I don't mean like bottom like 16. I mean like bottom playoff team. Like, pretty much 8 or 7 seed. That's pretty much what y'all was supposed to be pretty much anyway. So it's like the other teams, the other destinations, like Houston looks attractive, right? San Antonio looks attractive. Dallas a little bit. OKC definitely, right? They can get some trades and do some things and stuff like that. But I feel like the Lakers, I mean, of course, Phoenix is a bad job, but I feel like the Lakers is right just above that kind of Phoenix tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Unlike the Phoenix Suns, Lakers, we actually win championships, sir. We are a prestigious organization.
Really?
17 of them things, like Shaq say, 17 of them things. Sir, first off, no, the Lakers dynasty is not dead. No, sir. The LeBron James dynasty has died a long time ago, but the Los Angeles Lakers dynasty is far from dead because we birthed championships, my friend. Now, you talking about some hero ball. Well, first off, I mean, I get it. Basketball is a team sport. But let's not act like Luka needs to compromise. That's what Luka's game is. And this is one of the things that I am so sick and tired of hearing people say. Luka Doncic is not a two-way player, and that's okay. Steve Nash was not a two-way player. However, he's going in the Hall of Fame. However, he was one of the top elite point guards. My point is the Lakers just have to, moving forward, we got to put the right team, the right players around Luka Doncic and not LeBron James. So once we can do that, now Luka don't have to compromise. One thing I give Luka, he really tried on defense. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, either you're going to be a great defender or you're not. I mean, he's at least putting in some sort of effort. The problem is the Lakers have no rim protection. They have no great wing defenders that can help him out. So I wouldn't say that the dynasty's over and saying because Luka needs to compromise. And my friend, who wants to go to LA? Who don't want to? We had this discussion.
Let's go back to where you was before you go on. Okay. Compromise meaning there's no team in the NBA that plays read and react. I go one-on-one and I either beat my man or somebody helps and I kick and I keep the ball moving. No one wins championships like that. The Boston Celtics do not play like that all the time. The recent champions who won, they don't play like that. You know, so that's what I'm talking about as far as Luka. You can be great because the whole series, Luka scored 30 and all these. You can get numbers, but numbers aren't the end all be all.
Hold on. Let me stop you in your blasphemous statement. So, okay, you bring up the Boston Celtics, blah, blah, blah. The Warriors, they move the ball around. Okay, but we're going to forget about a guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan, a guy named Kobe Bean Bryant. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Kobe Bean Bryant. Yeah, I get that. But my point is these guys were scorers. They weren't facilitators. They were scorers. They score. So to sit here and say that Luka Doncic have to, in other words, transform his game to fit today's NBA, which is just run down and shoot a doggone three-pointer.
No, that's not fair. You're missing what I'm saying. Again, let's go back to Jordan in the triangle offense, which I literally run that same type of offense and variations, and most coaches do. In the triangle offense, everybody has a distinct motion or position that they must move to or be in, right? When you're playing read and react, it's literally 5 out, 1 in, and everybody's standing, and you're going one-on-one. Nobody's moving. And then if you beat your man, then when the help comes, then you kick the ball to the person who's open, and then they may try to attack attack the closeout or move the ball, stuff like that. That's different. Then what you're talking about in the triangle offense, those have specific movements. I'm not saying that Luka can't still be a scorer, but you have to give the other guys opportunities to cut, to set screens, to backdoor, to all these different things instead of just standing, because that makes the ball go around more. So
yeah, but what you're doing though, you see, you really jumping the topic. The topic question is the Lakers dynasty dead? It ain't got nothing to do with X's and O's.
I think that you really have to, when you say that, first of all, they're not currently a dynasty, meaning a current dynasty. It's meaning like winning the last 4 out of 5. That's what's considered a dynasty. Yeah, right?
But listen, no. So when you're the Lakers, you always a dynasty.
They're they're not a current dynasty, but y'all do have championships. So what I'm saying is
we
that
got plenty.
yeah, what I'm saying is that can you guys the question should be, can you guys win in the future? Of course you guys can win in the future, but you have to get the right players in there. You have to kind of not build from scratch, but you have to JJ has to kind of swallow his pride a little bit. And
hold on. Don't jump that, because that's the next question. We're gonna get into we're gonna get into JJ, but I want to deal with the dynasty.
If y'all build it correctly,
and we are, and we will. So that's what I'm saying. Somebody said that LeBron James losing in the first round is good for the NBA. That's pointless. I mean, at the end of the day, the Laker organization, now we will build, and we will build according to Luka Doncic, which is how it should be. So, I mean, honestly, I see the Lakers being contenders next year too. I mean, because were we contenders? Absolutely. Were we contenders when we had Anthony Davis before we got Luka Doncic? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you Lakers were there. They were, 4th, 5th spot. That's contention. Now, you get Luka Doncic, everybody, we're going to the finals. I never said that for sure. I said, hey, we can go. Other than OKC, right? Other than OKC, it was up in the air. But in other words, the level of expectation went up a little bit higher. I was always on the real, like, wait a minute, man, we ain't got no size, and unfortunately, when we ran against a team like Minnesota, it came and bit us in the butt. But I think within the next, absolutely, I think in the next 2-3 years, Lakers can definitely be in the finals. Absolutely. Depending on who they get. You say, well, who's coming? Well, we don't know. We don't know what team is going to fall out early, like a Giannis who fell out. I know we can't get Giannis. Well, you never know the NBA. Don't tell what they can do. I'm just saying. I'm all for giving up LeBron James to get Giannis. But anyways, there's no telling what superstar is going to be disgruntled and he's going to want to leave by the end of the playoffs. So it's La La Land, man. You got to stop with that. It's who want to go to LA. It's still La La Land.
But that was the issue though, because think about it. When y'all had Anthony Davis, y'all were we're gonna get Donovan Mitchell, and he re-signed with the Cavs, right? Oh, we're gonna get this person.
Wouldn't you for that money? Come on, man. What? They say that man good money.
Yeah, but my point is that they've been trying to find a third person to go with them.
But who was them?
For a while.
But listen to what you're saying. See, stop doing that, my man. You sit here looking at the old Anthony Davis and LeBron when the Lakers were LeBron James led.
No. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, the same issue that y'all had with AD and LeBron, even though I know those in the past, Luka had the same issue in Dallas before Kyrie got there. Kyrie went there because, of course, everybody wrote him off and everything, so that was a good landing spot for him. But before that, no one wanted to stay with Luka.
No, sir.
No one wanted to play with Luka.
No, sir. I see. No, what you're not going to do is try to flip this out like nobody wanted to come to LA. Let's not forget, Kyrie was going to come to LA. Everybody was excited about Kyrie because it made more sense to go to Dallas, and it
used it as a negotiation tactic to get more money in Dallas, which worked.
It panned out, right? Because LA couldn't pay him the money that Dallas could. That's a
he was never coming there. He was never coming there.
Oh, he was no. If LA could have paid him the money, absolutely. He was at the game last night, bro. Him and LeBron are like this.
He has a house there, though. He has a house there.
Regardless, him and LeBron are like this. I mean, you can't take away the friendship they have.
That has nothing to do with on the court. Like, that shit is set.
Bro, they've won a championship, so it has everything to do. He ain't won one without him. So my point is to sit here and say, "Oh, nobody wants to come to LA." Well, yeah, playing with LeBron, other than Kyrie, who I knew we wasn't gonna get because we couldn't offer him the money. But other than that, bro, now you're not looking at it from a LeBron James perspective. I wouldn't want to play with LeBron James. He disappears in the last parts of the game. I mean, no. But now you got Luka. Okay, that's a great starting point because you know one thing about Luka. Not only can he score, but he will get you open. Okay, so now it comes to management. If management can get the right pieces around him, me being a star, I'm not saying a superstar, but being, somebody good, I'm looking like, I can go over here and we got a chance to do something good, and I'm in LA. I mean, so yeah, we got to give it a chance, bro. Once again, you're trying to compare nobody wanting to come to Dallas. That's Dallas, bro. At the end of the day, other than the no state income tax, it's Dallas. But now you got LA. You cannot compare Dallas to LA.
LA doesn't have the same allure as it used to back then. Like, again, a lot of stars are turning down LA, And then also too, it's like let me caution you this: when you talk about LA, the Clippers are a more attractive job from the standpoint of the new arena. You get the same LA vibes. You have it's not a toxic front office or anything like that, or you have the coach people yelling for JJ Redick to be fired.
LA
literally they were calling him a genius.
Clippers will always be the little brothers. They will always be the little brothers. That's why they had to get out the own stuff now. Arena. Yeah, that's why they had to, because they still always the little brother. Look, Clippers ain't won one championship, so until they win, they can't talk. I mean, you can't talk. Look, at the end of the day, let's give Luka a chance. Don't sit here and act like, oh, nobody. No, we don't know yet. Let's see what happens this offseason. Let's see who wants to go to LA and play with Luka. I mean, we can't knock it until it happens.
You guys aren't getting anybody.
Well, we'll cross that bridge if it ever happens. All right.
You guys aren't getting anybody.
If it ever happens. Now,
what the team you got?
Now, who's to blame for the Lakers' early playoff exit?
I mean, to me, it's 50-50 with JJ Redick, Coach Redick, and LeBron, because LeBron is the de facto GM coach, the coach, or whatever you want to call him. So, and I say that because at the end of the day, JJ had enough in his cupboard to win the series. I don't care if the centers he had, because again, he never played Alex Len. They traded for him.
He's trash. He's trash.
No. Listen,
Alex Len trash.
What I'm saying is, again, he can't be any more trash than Rudy Gobert, right? And what I mean by that is some games in series before, years ago, and even last year, Rudy Gobert is sometimes unplayable and unwatchable, right?
He's going to be moving forward, too. He's going to be moving forward, too.
So at the end of the day, you need a big body to just, to just get up fouls. Just foul, just play, some defense, whatever, rebound. That's all you need. You don't need a person who's shooting threes like Cat or whatever playing at the five. All you need is a body to just put a hand up and make it difficult versus them just catching easy lobs and easy buckets under the rim. And that's what everybody was saying that I've been listening to. They were just saying it's not about, oh my gosh, I need this superstar at center. No, you just need a body that's around 7 foot with a wingspan that can at least go body to body with Gobert. And most of the time we saw, even though it took a toll on LeBron's body, LeBron playing the five, which was totally, asinine. Even LeBron would give, Rudy Gobert a run for his money, as far as, as it pertains to bumping them and kind of stuff like that. So that's all you needed. So I think that JJ wanted to go down with the ship, kind of proving that he was this, kind of genius and kind of overthought the situation and overplayed his hand. And so that was that. And then LeBron, he deserves, some of the blame too, because at the end of the day, if he says, hey, JJ, we're doing this, okay, we're doing this, and him, knowing that, hey, we need some side, hey, I'm tired, I need a rest or whatever. Like, you have to kind of milk every second that you have, especially because it may be his last year in the year 23. So I feel like those two, they deserve the blame. And then, you have, like, lastly, you have people like Vanderbilt, who didn't play all last season. He was hurt. And everybody's like, oh, if we had Vanderbilt, we would have won last year, whatever. Now you have him. You barely play him, so he doesn't really get a rhythm. And then, you have, the other guys, Gabe Vinton, and even the draft. What was the draft pick?
Connect.
No minutes. No really meaningful minutes to kind of show what they can do. And, even though I marvel and I appreciate the coaches like Ime Udoka, who let the young guys, or JB Bickerstaff in Detroit, he let his young guys play. They've never had playoff experience, but he didn't say, hey, because you don't have playoff experience, I'm not going to play you. He was like, no, we prepared for this all season, 82 games. So, hey, get out there and try your best. And so as a good coach, JJ, he should have did that with his guys. Like, hey, get out there, because sometimes people rise to the occasion in playoff games. It's a different game. It's really different. It's not like an all-star game. It's like people really playing. And sometimes people may rise to the occasion. And you see that with a lot of different series, with the Detroit series and things like that.
Listen, man. So who you blaming for the? Why you can't answer the question? Who you blaming for the Lakers?
We need to make sure
I'm hearing everybody. I'm hearing everybody. You done brought up Alex Lynn. You know, about who you blaming?
I know you're not following, so we need to make sure your ears are working. I said 50-50 at the beginning. I said 50%. Okay. JJ, 50% LeBron.
All right. Now, how you gonna blame LeBron for this? And y'all know, listen, I am not a LeBron. I'm not a Bron sexual like a lot of folks are, but I am a basketball fan. And I am a Laker fan, a true Laker fan. Let me explain something. How you blame LeBron James for this? Look, if you're going to go, look, the man is 45,000 years old.
Let me answer the question. So how I blame LeBron is he's the de facto GM and coach. He decides. No, yes, he does. He has so much pull in that organization. He does.
Not no more. Not no more. I keep trying to tell you this. No, not no more. Luka the Don is there. If anybody got pulled, it's Luka Doncic.
Who you think signed off to get him there?
That was before.
LeBron.
Signed off on who?
Signed off on
who? Signed off to get who there?
Meaning he knew it was coming, and they said, "Hey, are you cool with this?" Because at the end of the day,
knew nothing about Luka Doncic.
Listen, yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Because it was reported that he did.
On record. No,
it was reported that he did.
No. I have to go with the reports that LeBron had absolutely no idea.
Say he knew that he knew.
No. Look at the way he talks. Like last night, he did an interview, and they asked him, about if you had a center and whatnot. Stop it, man. You sound like a doggone conspiracy theorist. Stop it. He said, well, I don't want to say nothing because when my boy AD said something, y'all got rid of next week. So no, I'm believing LeBron had out because you know why? Because it's Luka Doncic. And you mean to tell me you think Rob Pelinka really gonna say, "Oh, LeBron, you don't want Luka? Okay, we gonna keep AD."
No, that's not how it was said. It was said that of course Pelinka acted alone and did his thing, but before it happened, it said, "LeBron, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. This is what I'm thinking about doing, and we're about to put a plug on it."
Absolutely not.
And then LeBron was like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna overstep your, my position. I'm gonna allow you to do, to do what y'all need to do to make the team better because he knows that at the end of the day, he's not going to be there much longer. So he's going to do right by people and try to at least set them up for, success. So LeBron, I'm not saying he made the final call, but he was notified of it. Not saying that they asked him for permission, but he was notified of it.
Listen, man, no. I disagree. He knew nothing about it because it don't really matter. It don't really matter. The man's been in the league for 2,000 years. It don't matter. My point is he's no longer the center point. Okay, so you can't sit here and blame a man who's 40 years old in his 22nd season. You have to play center. You have to guard the power forward. Oh, yeah, and we need you to go out there and average at least 25 to 30 because Austin Reeves, who need to take that stupid headband off thinking he's some superstar, is only averaging 11 points. So, no, I'm sorry. I can't blame LeBron for this one. However, the blame to me is definitely on JJ Redick. Reason why? Because JJ Redick, at this point, you're in the game 5, is do or die. I get his whole, first off, when he started that team with that little behind lineup, I said, oh my gosh, this is going to be bad. You got Rudy Gobert out there looking like the second coming of Shaq and Wilt Chamberlain all together. And I already knew it. I'm like, okay, bro, we're losing. Okay, it's a close game, but we're losing because every time the Lakers get close, Rudy Gobert comes flying in for a dunk as if he's just Superman, right? So I'm like, okay, you got Alex Lynn over there. I do agree. He's a body. He got 6 fouls, somebody you can rough up Rudy Gobert with, or Julius Randle. You got, even though Jackson Hayes, he's 7 foot. He's somebody who got 6 fouls. Somebody you can rough up Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. See, this is coaching. Julius Randle strategically exploited Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. They were looking for that pick and roll to get them on them. And when it happened, nobody sends help. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, yo, this is JJ Redick's doing. I can't put the blame on LeBron. I can't put the blame on Luka. Everybody, he's out of shape. Okay, yeah, the dude's out of shape. He'll get in. This is his first offseason. Now, if Luka don't come back fat and we having the same issues, okay. Now the problem is Luka Doncic. But I'm hearing some of these analysts say, oh, maybe Nico Harris was right. I'm like, okay, let's give the man a summer. You know, if I'm Luka, I'm not going cross seas playing basketball. If I'm Luka, I'm getting my body in shape. Talk to a LeBron James, who seemed to have defeat father time. Like LeBron, put me on the regiment you're on. I want to get to like you, to where you can preserve yourself, get rid of some of that weight. If Luka can drop about 20 to 30 pounds, Luka gonna be a problem next season because that'll help his feet movement, his lateral movement. So I mean, but to answer the question, what you say?
So here's the thing: people like you keep the Lakers soap opera alive because you keep having. You're like a Cowboys fan. Like you keep hope alive. Like, next year we're gonna win a championship. Like next year we're coming.
Hold on. How you gonna compare me to a Dallas Cowboy fan?
Yes.
The Dallas organization ain't won a doggone championship since Bill Clinton was in office. No, we done got a few of them things. So no, you can't compare a Laker organization to a Dallas
organization. I said as a fan.
They're delusional.
You're delusional.
Oh, absolutely not. We just had a championship in 2020.
We're gonna get somebody. We're gonna get somebody next year. Oh my God! If Luka comes back, if he eats his veggies and like you're. Like,
hold on, no. Don't try to flip this narrative. I literally said if Luka get with somebody like LeBron James. No, but you're missing the point. I didn't say he was gonna do it. Hopefully, I say let's give him a chance. Get with a LeBron James. That's what I'm saying. And you can't say it. Hey, we can't say definitively he's not going to do it. Let's wait till this offseason. If I'm Luka Doncic, I'm not playing overseas. I'm not doing that. For what? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to prove. You was doing that since you was 13. So now focus on getting in prime shape, proving haters like yourself to shut y'all up, to show the Dallas organization, hey, you were wrong to get rid of me.
Well, the GM now, Nico Harrison, he actually looks like a genius now. Like I told you.
His team didn't even make the playoffs. Y'all didn't make the playoffs.
You sitting home with us now.
Yeah, but you can't sit here and you still can't say that Luka or whatever his name is, Nico? Was a Nico. You can't say that because we're gonna find out in the next 3 to 5 years. If Dallas don't make y'all only got a 2 to 3 window. We don't know how you gonna come back. You don't know what you're gonna get from Anthony Davis, who's gonna be a year older. So we're gonna see if the Lakers win a championship with it, which we probably will, more than likely win a championship between the next 3 and 5 years.
You guys will win a championship in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes. And the Dallas Mavericks don't. Absolutely, because once again, absolutely. Listen, because you don't know who's gonna come to LA, but listen. If the Lakers win a championship within the next 3 to 5 years and the Dallas Mavericks don't, then, sir, yes, the Lakers were the winners. And Nico was, he was a horrible GM. So
you're definitely totally need to be drug tested or something.
Stop it.
3 to 5 years is as if there must be they must gonna move OKC, Houston, and Boston in Cleveland to like Siberia or somewhere.
That makes no sense. First off,
that would be the only way you guys win a championship.
First off, Boston and Cleveland's in the East. All right, so they would be the competitors.
Let's say you make it through the Western Conference Finals, you will still have to beat them.
We will. First off, LeBron ain't gonna be on the team in 3 to 5 years. So I said what I said. We don't know what superstar is going to be disgruntled within the next 3 to 5 years who's going to be playing in LA. So yes, 3 to 5 years is actually a great time window. So Luka's 26. That put him at 30, 31, 30, perfect. Absolutely. Lakers should definitely, be in contention 3 to 5 years. OKC, we don't know what OKC's going to or in 3 years or 3 to 5 years, what's going to happen. You know why? Because OKC got a lot of superstars on that team. Oh, yeah, it looks good right now, but within the next 3 to 5 years, when the next contract year is coming out, guess who wants to get paid? That's right, them superstars. And now OKC, because of these aprons, you can't keep all of them players on their team. So, yes, within the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to see what happens. I don't see Boston being the same team within the next 3 to 5 years once again because people want to get paid. And the way the apron rules work, you can't keep a big salary team. So yeah,
one thing you're missing is that OKC has future first round picks. They even could possibly get even though they've had a good season, they could still get Cooper Flag because they have those first round picks. So
yeah, ain't nobody trading
team
for
is
him.
going to be so stacked in the future in your window of 3 to 5 years.
Well,
that, I mean, the Lakers.
Well, listen. The
only
way that changed. The only way that changed
to build that is if you did something like what OKC did. But the Lakers,
that could happen.
They don't build like that. They don't build.
That's right, because we win here. Let me tell you. The only way that'll happen.
You haven't won in a long time, and you won't win now because you got put out in the first round this year and last year.
It's been 5 years.
Gentlemen sweep.
Listen, man. Listen. The only way the Lakers don't, have a chance is if OKC does what I've been hearing, and that is that all because of, like you said, all of the picks they have. They got my pick, your pick, your mama pick, my mama pick. They got all kind of picks. Only way they don't be contention is if OKC get, with what I'm hearing, because of the picks they got, they do something for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, there is talk that they could possibly present Milwaukee with a plethora of picks, Hardenstein, and some other things. So, hey, if they get Giannis, well, that changes the landscape. However,
you said if the Lakers get Giannis?
I said if the Giannis. I mean, if the OKC, there's talk that they could go out. But
they don't need him.
But Sam Presti don't see that. Sam Presti he want to see championships. He's as good as a GM he is. He ain't got a championship. So when you see Giannis, who's won, you go after a Giannis. Period.
No, he's gonna change his offense. Period. You don't want to change.
If you can get Giannis, you go after Giannis. I don't care.
You'll be better in Miami, New York.
No, Miami don't have the pieces. No, they won't, because if they go to Miami, you're gonna have to get rid of either Bam or Tyler Hero. So that'd be stupid. He might as well stay in Milwaukee. But we're not gonna jump on the Giannis Antetokounmpo because he could come to LA. But let's continue. Ant-Man has been talking spicy. I seen the video that you sent me, and my blood started boiling. He's sitting there walking. If y'all ain't seen the video, Ant-Man's walking, I guess, somewhere in LA after they done won, and he just all cocky and confident. Oh, yeah, y'all said the Lakers in 5. Blah, 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 blah. Like he done won a championship. What's his problem? That's what I was saying. Like, I get it. I feel some sort of way towards Ant-Man anyways. But first off, you went 0 for 11 yesterday on 3-pointers. And if it wasn't for Rudy Gobert, they wouldn't even won that game. I can't believe I've said that. But that's because of some bad coaching decision on JJ Redick part. Gobert had 27 doggone cotton picking points. Ant-Man, where were you, Ant-Man? You shot 0 for 11 and still shooting threes. But you out here got all this energy. You know what? Let me tell you something. Ant-Man, he got to realize, my dude, you don't play. Maybe they do. See, but we Lakers, we don't do that. We don't play to get out of the first round. Matter of fact, this was the first time that the Lakers have ever lost in the first round with being a number 3 or higher. See, this is the prestige of the organization.
Listen.
I understand. Hold on. I understand. But regardless, the facts are the facts. We were number 3. And this is the first time we've ever. My point is the Lakers
lost the first round last year.
Who?
You guys lost in the first round last year.
We were number 7. Stop it.
You
listen to what I'm saying. I said number 3 or higher. The Lakers have never lost the first round. So Ant-Man got to understand. See, we ain't used to lose. We don't play to get past the first round. Like some teams do. Like, for instance, your Dallas Mavericks, when y'all got to the finals and you lost, everybody, we got to the final. That's not a winning season. That's like the New York Knickerbockers team who haven't won a doggone title since Richard Nixon was president. For some strange reason, if they get past the first round, they've won a championship. But they haven't been to the conference finals in 26 years. So my point is, Anthony Edwards is going to learn, because I can tell you this. As much as you know, Isaiah, look at me when I'm talking to you. As much as you know, I don't like that. Because you want to hear this one. I don't like that boy. I don't like them Warriors. But boy, if he go up against that light-skinned silent assassin, I may have to root for the Warriors, because let me tell you, because Curry ain't going to be a Luka Doncic. He ain't going to be LeBron. Curry going to drop them things on him and make them work. You see what I'm saying? So if you can beat, either way, he's going home, because you're not going to beat OKC if you get through the Golden State Warriors. So, but I guess, it's a winning season.
let's do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Let me read the resume since 2019. The LeBron James Lakers era. 2019, missed the playoffs. 2020, bubble championship. 2021, eliminated in the first round. 2022, missed the playoffs. 2023, swept in the Western Conference Finals. 2023, 2024, eliminated in the first round. 2025, eliminated in the first round. Like, that's not dynasty. Like,
hold on, what that got to do with Isaiah? What that got to do with the question? How you bring it? Stop that! Why you stop your hate for LeBron?
Hey, let me tell you, the question. The reason what that has to do with the reason why that has to do with the question is because Ant-Man was talking spicy because everyone was like, okay, such and such and such, Lakers will win, right?
That's right.
Not relying on the history that I just read that shows that even though the Lakers have a name, history will tell you recent history will tell you that they're not really that good. Like they're not consistent contenders.
Yeah, we had some horrible coaches.
So for a young team, you know, the GM who actually built the Minnesota Timberwolves was the actual GM that built the Denver Nuggets. He built a young team, and now this young team is growing now. Anthony Edwards is growing now, right on schedule. So even though, it was, the last couple of years, Ant-Man and them didn't really do well, they're peaking at the right time in their growth. The Lakers, when you get stars, it's the pressure to win now, instead of just building.
Please listen, stop it. Hold on, no, it's all about matchups. Had the Timberwolves went up against the Clippers or the Denver Nuggets, or other than the Lakers, Timberwolves may have this whole conversation would be different. I don't have the Timberwolves beating the Denver Nuggets if they had to go up against them in the first round. I don't have them beating the Clippers. You see what I'm saying? So my whole point is, I mean, it's just they got favored with the matchup that benefited them. Gobert is 7'9". I mean, Julius Randle is 6'10", just bullying his way through everybody. You got McDaniel, he's 6'9". You got it's like picking.
Rudy Gobert is like 7'1".
Hold on. Let me tell you, it's like you
said 7'9". Rudy Gobert is like 7'1".
Listen, I'm being exaggerated. That's like me and you going to my daughter's elementary school, and we say, they all playing basketball, and we walk out and say, "Hey, we got next." Do you think them little kids gonna beat us? No, we're gonna bully them around because we're bigger. But if you go up against them high schoolers, somebody who's just as big, younger, quicker, that's a little different story. So my point is, Ant-Man talking all of this yada yak, but you're only benefiting from who you played.
Wait. Hold on now. We can't poo-poo his win now.
I absolutely did.
He was not favored to win. They were not favored to win the series. They said, if you want to beat a king, you gotta beat the king. And he beat the king.
Man, first off, he ain't no king. He ain't no king. He once was a king.
I mean, he was your king? That's what he said?
That's right. Is this your king? You see the fly? Listen, man. Listen. Let me explain something to you. He talking all that yak, but we gonna see what happened. We gonna see what happened when he go up against a team that got some players. When you go up against a team that got some heat behind them. I mean, you understand me. And that's one of the things we got to look at. We got to look at it that way. He can't come out here talking all that yak when you ain't really played nobody. Let me put you back in there. When you ain't played nobody. That's all I'm saying. Hey, like them old folks say, get a little humble pie. Get a little humble pie. Yeah, you did. Yeah, y'all won. Okay, cool. But you ain't did nothing. Like, to your point, the Lakers ain't did nothing for 5 years. So you ain't do nothing. He's so excited. Oh, I beat LeBron. I beat Luka.
My thing is that at the end of the day, first of all, he didn't just beat Luka. He beat Luka and LeBron.
First off,
2 Hall of Famers, right?
Stop it.
That's street cred right there.
Let me ask you a question. I don't
really care.
Watch this. Stop it.
I don't really care what the Timberwolves do moving forward.
I can't tell.
LeBron.
I can't tell. I know that because you're hate for LeBron. But let me explain something to you. See, you're not looking at this from a basketball analyst perspective or a basketball fan. You're just looking at somebody who hate LeBron. Listen, LeBron, it's in fairness. The man is 40 years old. You asking him to guard centers. I mean, that's no. So if you're Ant-Man, I don't want that win. I'm going to be honest. That's like a boxing. If I'm in a boxing match and I know my opponent is weak, or my opponent ain't at his full best, or for instance, that's like Logan Paul or Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. Man, Mike Tyson, 90 years old. There's no way you would have beat Mike Tyson 30 years ago. But, I can't even get the credit for saying, I beat Mike Tyson. No, you beat an old Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Ant-Man, I can't even say I beat LeBron. No, I beat LeBron when he had to go up against my centers and my power forwards. I didn't beat LeBron at his best. Luka Doncic, he was sick. He was hurt. He had back spasms, whatever happened last night. Not making excuses because he played, and I love that. But no, if you Ant-Man, because I'm telling you, what goes around comes around. And if he go up against that light-skinned assassin, boy, something I'm telling you. And Julius Randle, he won't be able to body Draymond Green like he did AR-15. That's what I'm saying. It's like they bullies. So no, Ant-Man, you better get a piece of that humble pie, boy. I'm telling you. When it come, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh. That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, they're where they're supposed to be in their natural progression as a team with their young players and stuff like that, and they're growing.
No, I don't think so. No.
They're growing just like OKC was growing, and now they're growing now.
No. No, listen, first off, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a stupid organization. Let's not act like they did. I'm going to tell you. You do know the whole season, it was actually a struggle for them. They barely got into the playoffs. So my point is, they got rid of Karl Anthony Towns, for Julius Randle, who barely played the season because he got hurt, and he's not the player of Karl Anthony Towns. Look what Karl Anthony Towns is doing in New York. I mean, great season. I can't knock him. You know what I'm saying? So, no, they had to do that because of, once again, the money situation. So you pretty much get rid of your team when y'all went to the conference finals and you building around Gobert. I would have kept Karl Anthony Towns because you're going to need, Gobert looked like Shaq in the Lakers series.
Good trade for both teams.
No. Moving forward, you're going to need, I'm telling you, you're going to need somebody. Okay. Watch how Rudy Gobert get exposed, especially if he going against the Warriors.
You're not understanding that. First of all, they don't if you don't remember, in the first, I think it was the first or second game, they literally didn't play Rudy Gobert that much. They can go small and put Naz Reid at the 5. So they're not going to get exposed because they don't have to keep him on the floor. Man, that's what you don't understand. They only did that. Listen, they only kept him on the floor because JJ was so ridiculous by not putting a center out there. That's why.
Listen, man. They trust me. So listen what I'm telling you. They're gonna need a Karl Anthony Towns. He can shoot. What you mean?
Julius
he can shoot. He's a big who can shoot.
The same
Julius Randle can't play like Karl Anthony Towns.
And the reason why his plus minus may be better than Cat's last year is because Julius Randle can also get to the hole and get to the free throw line a lot more. He's more physical than Cat.
Okay. All right. We're going to see what happens when they play against the Warriors, possibly. Because I still got the Rockets coming back winning that series now. Yeah. So the Warriors play tonight against the Houston Rockets. Who you got tonight? Or was that tonight? No, that's tomorrow. Yeah. So the Warriors, there we go. So the Warriors lost pretty bad, I may add, to the Houston Rockets. Do you think Houston found something, or do you think the Warriors just wanted to go finish it in Game 6?
I mean, a lot of times, too, when you lose bad, like they lost to the Warriors or whatnot, you come back with a lot of energy, and you have something to prove, and you got the battery in your back. You at home and everything like that. It happens. I mean, I used to watch the series with Jordan and the Utah Jazz, and when he would close them out in Game 6, and they could have probably closed them out before, but the other team comes out with energy. It's a natural. That's just a natural thing. I think the Warriors will close them out when they play on Friday night on ESPN. And so I think they should close them out. I think they're at home. They have the crowd at their disposal. I do think if the Rockets end up winning the series, which Golden State leads 3-2, still, I think Steve Kerr is going to regret not having Kuminga as a part of that. I think that at the end of the day, business is business. You got to get over your feelings and things like that, and you just got to play basketball. You got to play basketball, and you got to have more depth, especially because Steph. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Steph's hand, of his thumb. He has a big knot on his thumb. It's huge, and so that's what he keeps taped up. And so with Curry having that nagging injury and things like that. And it's when you see it, you're gonna be like, whoa, how is he able? And that's on his shooting hand, like
Man, I
it's not on his off hand. So
that.
my point is that you need the others to step up in some game because Curry can't carry you every game. He's still gonna be special, but you got to take the pressure off of him. So if you have a guy that can give you 15, 18 points off the bench, you got to let him play. So I think the Warriors should win, but I mean, if they don't win the series, then we can blame this on Steve Kerr.
Yeah, mentioning Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr said, what? So you said about the thumb issue with Steph Curry. Ooh. Steph Curry hasn't said anything, which I commend him about it, but his coach, I'm so disappointed. He say, oh, the NBA needs to protect players when they shoot the ball, how, the defensive players hit their thumb. And they say they're targeting his thumb.
Yeah.
I think that's a bunch of crap. We're going to be honest. Steve Kerr played in the NBA, played with the Michael Jordan Bulls, right? He played in an era where physicality was, I loved it. Now you're complaining about, the NBA need to change the rules to where when the player shoots it and you hit their thumb, it's a foul. What kind of garbage is that, bro?
Well, so let's be clear on what actually happened. So it wasn't like your hand is a part of the ball. So let's say I'm going for a shot and you hit my hand that's on in the ball's underneath it right here. You hit my hand. That's not a foul because your hand is a part of the ball if you have it on there. So the foul occurred when after Curry shot the ball, then Dylan Brooks came and charged and hit his hand after or whatever. Now that's technically, in certain instances are fouls. It's almost like kind of like an elongated high five rule when, where if you shoot and you high five, it could be a foul and things like that.
That's not a foul.
Well, I said elongated. So after, so you shoot the ball and then I'm falling through, and then you come and then you charge at my finger. So that's what actually happened. So Steph, during that play, he got up and looked straight at the referee. And he was like, "Hey, did you just see what he did to my hand? My thumb and stuff like that." So in that regard, I think it's a part of the game. I'm not saying it's illegal or anything like that. But I would just say a referee can look at it at their own discretion and see, like, hey, is this foul being committed after the shooting motion is over, or is it doing it when the shooting motion is, kind of going on? So I would want to pay attention to that. But it's not. I don't think he was. Kerr wasn't saying, "Oh my gosh, they should stop." He was just saying, "Hey, this is what's happening," even though it's legal.
That's not what Kerr said. That's not what he said.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard wrong. Kerr said that the next season, hopefully they'll change the rule. That means you want it to change. Listen, man.
Yeah, but okay, hold on now. If he says the next season he wants the rule to change, he's saying he knows that it's legal currently. So you're proving my point. He knows it's legal currently, but he just doesn't like it. So he's talking about next season. He's not talking about now.
Right. My point is, listen, let's just stop this. My man, Kobe Bean Bryant. I got his picture of his jersey hanging up in my room. The man played with a broken thumb on his shooting hand for a whole season. The man never complained. Listen, this is why I say Steph Curry hasn't complained, at least openly. Now he's looking at the ref. Okay, look, your goal being a competitor. If you're playing if I'm playing against you, for instance, if I'm playing against you and I see you just tweak your knee or your ankle, I'm fixing to attack it. I mean, I was quick. My first step was, if anybody watching, y'all know I had a quick first step. If I seen you just tweak your right ankle, I'm going to my left. Why? Because I know your right ankle hurting. So that's the game of competition. I think Steve Kerr needs to really just chill out. He needs to worry about trying to salvage that relationship between him and Kuminga, because Kuminga's out of there after this season. That's what I think. If they lose this round or whatever, Kuminga's gone. So I don't have time. The NBA is soft as it is. We don't need it any softer. Let these men, well, if I shoot the ball and you hit my hand, you give me a high five, okay. Because back in my day, if I shot the ball in your face and you hit me, we hit each other in the hand and go in, I say, bam, in your face. You see what I'm saying? That's how I talk. I'll be like, that's two, yep, in your eyes, you know what I'm saying? Talking all noise. So I mean, we got and Curry does that a lot. I mean, he does that a lot. So I get it. His thumb is hurt. They got the protection to cash, but at the end of the day, hey man, I think Curry know. Hey, of course they're gonna come after him. There's like a shark when it smells blood in the water. That shark don't sit there and leave you alone. That shark's gonna strategically attack you. So I think Curry need to kind of give up on it or just stop with that foolishness.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's really not a big issue. Curry hasn't complained about it. I mean, we don't in his press conferences. We don't really know if a lot of the questions sometimes are pointed questions. If they may ask him about something, if they asked him about it, and he didn't bring it up himself, then that's a different thing. So we always want to look at the context of how something's being said, because all we see a lot of times is clips. All we see is sound bites. So that's essentially what I'm saying. Like,
right. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I think Curry need to kind of get over it, man. At the end of the day, no excuses. We don't want no excuses. Go out there and play. Curry's still been dropping points with the messed up thumb. So, hey, it is what it is, my man. So I want to ask you, so tonight we have, and I can't wait. We got Detroit versus New York. Do you think tonight is a must-win for the Knicks?
Yes, they're up 3-2. It is a must-win.
I'm talking about for the Knicks. No, for the Knicks, not Detroit. For the Knicks.
So the series, to my understanding, is
in Detroit tonight.
The game is in Detroit, right?
It's in Detroit tonight.
So the game is in Detroit, and the series, I believe, is 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. It's 3-2 New York. So yes, it's a must-win tonight for New York, because this will kind of show, for me, their maturity as a unit. Like, we've all kind of had our things, kind of with them, and kind of like, hey, they're, not really good. They just need more or whatever. But honestly, I think this could be a measuring stick. Okay, you're going into a hostile environment in Detroit.
It's going to be hostile, very.
Yeah, a hostile environment, and you have to, put up a shut up. You got to do your thing. So, I mean, they definitely have to win, because if you lose in Detroit, even if you're in New York, I think Detroit, because of their defense, they're going to have momentum going into Game 7. So you don't want to go to Game 7. You want to put them out now, and you want to give yourself some time to rest for the next series. Jalen Brunson has all these injuries. A lot of these, guys, they have these track shoes and stuff as basketball shoes, right?
Right.
And he's turning ankles and knees and hamstrings and all those different things. You don't want to keep that series going on before somebody gets hurt. And Tibbs, their coach, he plays them like so many minutes anyway, like a ton of minutes. So it's just not, you want to get this over with quick.
I mean, I do agree. I definitely agree. I think, I told you, I predict the Detroit Pistons is going to come back and win this series based off of the horrible karma that New York Knicks always have. Detroit environment is going to be hostile. And one thing about them Pistons, you can't bully them. They like that. They like that one person who you can punch upside the head and he could take it. You could slap him in the face and he'd be like, that's all you got. I mean, that's just how the Pistons are. So I believe the Knicks better win. They better win tonight, because even though you got home court advantage, do you think Detroit's scared to go into New York, the Garden, to play them? No, they just went there the other day and beat them. So you don't think they got, to your point, they're going to have all the confidence in the world to say, hey, this Game 7 now, baby, we've been under pressure for 2 games. Now y'all under pressure. Let's see how you react. And we know Karl Anthony Towns is liable to do some stupid stuff under pressure. So I believe if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm telling my team, yo, let's not play around with this Detroit team. We need to take them out tonight, and let's move on to the next round. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's now, there was something that was very interesting that was said about Mikal Bridges. And they were basically saying, they gave up like some first round picks to get Mikal Bridges from the Nets. I think it was like 4 or whatnot, future. And for him not to actually be consistent in his scoring, in 20, at least over 20 points in the playoffs, like they were saying, hey, you got to live up to the assets that were given up for you. And so I think that's the thing. Like OG Anunoby, was doing his thing, and Josh Hart or whatever, but they need to take some of the pressure off of Brunson, so he doesn't always have to go for 35, 40, even though he puts some crazy video game numbers.
Absolutely. But here's the problem. But here's the problem with Brunson, and this is one of my reasons why I'm picking. This is why New York better not play around with Detroit. I don't know why these Knicks fans think Detroit is just some horrible team. Here's the problem with the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, like you just said, he does. He put up video game numbers. He's a remarkable scorer. One of his problems, though, he seems to get hurt all the time. You don't want him. He already done tweaked that ankle. Now, we just sat here talking about how, players are supposedly going at different players when they, see weakness. Don't you know, once again, if I'm Schroeder, if I'm Cade Cunningham, whoever, I'm attacking Jalen Brunson, that right ankle. I'm going to make him work. And Jalen Brunson, he attacks the basket so much. All it takes is, I done fell on my ankle. I done retweaked it. Now he's hobbled. He's out the game. And then your boy, Anunoby, he's another injury-prone player. My point is, the Knicks, y'all better not play around with them Pistons, because all it takes is Anunoby going down the court. He done pull a hamstring. Or then y'all Knicks fans looking lost like a bunch of sad puppies again. Oh, man, Thibs, he overplayed him, man. He played him too much. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, because we know how Thibs is. Thibs is going to play you till your shoes burn off. And all it takes, and now you playing a physical team in Detroit. So all I'm saying is, if you are the New York Knicks, you better pray. You better pray y'all beat them tonight, because I guarantee you, if it goes back to the Garden, that we going to have a barn fight. I'm telling you, we going to have a barn fight.
I think that New York will take out the trash tonight.
They better. They better.
Do what they have to do. So, I mean, it's a good testament, because if they can close this out tonight, then that shows me they're ready. Because who would they play next in the next round?
They're going home next round. They play Boston. They're going home next round, but I'm just saying. It will
show me that they're ready.
I mean, you want to have all your energy, though,
Yeah, it will show me that they're ready to give Boston a fight.
It ain't going to be a fight. They ain't giving them a fight in the whole season.
Well, the playoffs are different. Because, again, the Lakers will beat – y'all beat Minnesota a couple times and all this stuff.
But we had Anthony Davis, too, some of them. We had Anthony Davis. That means
but it's different, though.
Yeah, that's totally different. How you going to bring up that Lakers with Anthony Davis without him?
No. I'm talking about –
let's talk about the Knicks. The Knicks were 0-for-11? Against the top team.
The playoffs are different.
Listen, man, I know it don't matter, but you act like, didn't you just sit here? Let me get you hypocrite. Didn't you just sit here and give the Celtics their pride? Where the Celtics going? The Celtics going somewhere, them in Cleveland. The Celtics is a well-oiled machine. They lost one game barely to the Orlando Magic. Stop that, man.
Okay, so over the time of the playoff, there comes a battle of the attrition. So Jaylen Brown had to sit out. What's his name? Drew Holiday had to sit out for an injury. Even Tatum had to sit out for an injury, right? So again, it's not about because sometimes in the playoffs you click at the right time. Of course, we all pick the Celtics to beat the Knicks if the Knicks make it. We all know that. We all agree about that. What I'm saying is that still, as time goes on and injuries happen and different things happen, I mean, so can it flip series as well. So you still have to be open to that.
Yeah.
You can say, remember when the Warriors were supposed to win 3 in a row, and then KD
Draymond,
got hurt, and then Klay got hurt, right?
Yeah, he tore it. Yep. Yeah, things happen, but anyways, we ain't talking about that. We talking about facts. What has happened? Okay, ain't nobody done got hurt. The Celtics are well rested. Once again, you're giving this team rest. Tatum, resting. Healing. Jaylen Brown, the knee, resting, healing. Porzingis. My point is, if you the Knicks, you don't want to give these teams a rest. You want to go in and get them while they're slightly injured or whatever. My point is, if you the Knicks, you mess right. You play with fire, you get burnt. That's what's gonna happen. You play with fire, you get burnt.
I mean, I think they'll take care of business, but yeah, a lot of your picks this whole series. This whole NBA playoff, you're like 4-4, dude. Like in all your picks, man. Like And you might be actually 5. You might be actually 3 and what is it? 3 and 5 actually, because you
Hey,
could.
man,
Because that was before the Lakers actually lost.
Listen, man.
You like
listen.
3 and 5 in your picks, and everybody's supposed to believe.
We ain't worried about all that. We ain't worried about that.
Like, really.
I'm telling you, listen. I told you from the beginning. I'm staying. I ain't jumped off the ship. I told you Detroit is gonna beat the Knicks. Now the Knicks. Listen. Why you talking? We ain't talking about the Lakers. This segment's about the Knicks. Listen, Detroit has been screwed by the officials. I know the Knicks fans ain't gonna like that. Oh yeah, the Knicks fans ain't gonna like that. But come on, I don't hear that. Tim Hardaway Jr. should have been. You should have hit 3.
But again, as I keep saying,
won the game.
Yes, that call was correct. That you're saying.
I know it's correct. I know it's correct.
But again, if you had a major free throws, if you
I don't want to hear that. 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 I don't want to hear that.
That's how real basketball coaches
listen. If Rudy Gobert would have hit 3 more points, we'd have had 30 for the first time in his career, playoff. But he didn't. We ain't talking about that. We talking about
no coach in America is like, hey, well, they robbed us of a call. They're like, no, we missed these many free throws.
Listen.
All of that.
I don't care. Detroit was robbed by them officials. Detroit was robbed twice by the officials. So once again, if I'm Bernie Bickerstaff, I'm telling my team, you know what? We better than this team. Let's go out there and let's show it. Don't put the game in the hands of the officials. I do agree with that. Go out there and beat a better team, which Detroit has been the better team. I don't care what Knicks fans try to say. Detroit has been the better team. It's just that, hey, they can't ever make that one basket or the officiating go their way or go against them. So,
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how loud you get, you're still wrong. I mean,
you say what I want to say.
Well, you're about to bust game 6 right here.
Hey, listen, game 6 tonight. Game 6 tonight. Detroit wins. Pressure goes on New York. I guarantee you.
This is like deja vu. You literally told me the same thing about the Lakers. The Lakers, they're going to go win in 7 and all this stuff. And literally was crying a river.
Okay, but listen. Hold on, man. Hold on. Because listen, I'm a realist. Listen, I'm a realist.
You're a realist that's wrong.
No, listen. My last name right. I'm never wrong. Listen, let me explain something to you. The Lakers, yeah, they should. You just got hypocrite again. You just got finished downing JJ Redick. My point is, JJ Redick was some of the issue with the Lakers. Yo, I mean, it should have went 6 or 7. The Lakers could have beat the Timberwolves. I still stand that the Timberwolves aren't necessarily the better team. They were better coached, period. Now, the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, I think Bickerstaff's a better coach than Thibs, to be honest with you. But, I mean, Thibs ain't he ain't a bad coach. But right now, it's coming down to who wants it. Detroit is playing with heart. If the Lakers had that heart, this would be a different series, or it would have been a different series. That's all I'm saying. So, no, we can't compare these apples and oranges. So, the Detroit Pistons, though, and you know I'm right. I don't hear what you say. All the games have been close. Like, it's been a great series. So Detroit, they got the belief that they can beat New York. And if you're a New York Knicks, you can't go in there being arrogant and say, oh, yeah, we better than them. Oh, yeah, we far better than them. Because you're not far better than them. You got more scorers, but you're not far better than them. And if I'm the Knicks, I'm concerned because next season, the Pistons are going to be even better, in the next 2-3 seasons. So, no, don't sit there and try to compare the two.
If the Knicks lose or whatever, or when they lose, in the playoffs, they'll do something to shake up the roster. And you never know. They may be like, okay, we want Giannis. Whatever. So, because they have some picks and they do have, you never know. They may shake up.
Who you talking about?
Well, hey, we want KD, right?
Hold on, man. Who you talking about? What team?
The Knicks.
Man, stop it.
The New York Knicks.
Stop it. The Knicks.
I guarantee you that when they
listen, the New York Knicks. Listen. The New York Knicks is like that one nerd in school. He wear them big old glasses, and then the girl tells him, "I like you," right? But it's really a prank.
Like the Lakers. Like the Lakers. Got you.
Right. Listen. Because the Lakers have plenty. The nerd never got none. Listen, the nerd is thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend," but not knowing it's just a prank. And then come time for prom, nobody shows up to his house, leaves him crying, sad. That's the New York Knicks. They think, oh, we're the mecca of basketball, which I don't understand how that's even possible. You only got 2 rings in your whole existence. The last one came in 1973. But we're gonna get KD. KD, now you can have him. Please take him. Oh, we're gonna get Giannis. We're gonna get LeBron. Remember, LeBron was in the headline. And who you get? Jalen Bronson.
No, Jalen Brunson is a force to be reckoned with.
He ain't on them. He ain't on their level. And I'm talking about
his numbers is though.
In their prime.
His numbers are though.
In their prime, he's not on their level.
His numbers is really, really good.
I don't care nothing about that. He played
because
for the
you don't really watch basketball like that. Then
that's stupid. He's the focus point. He's the focus point.
It doesn't
he's
matter.
The focus point. He's going to get numbers. That makes no sense. But my point, you can say what you want to right now. He ain't a Hall of Famer. He's not even a future Hall of Famer right now. So, what I'm saying is we knew. Listen. We knew. Hold on, bro. We knew. Don't come up here being,
bro. 30 points a game on a bum ankle. 30 points a game.
Listen, man. You sound like Nick Wright. Don't come up here trying to bring pointless statistics. All right.
30 points a game.
Anybody can bring a stat. Nobody's saying. You stop it. Nobody's saying that he's not good, but he's not on the level of prime LeBron, prime KD. You need to have your head checked if you think he is.
Hey, you're not listening. I never.
Nobody is saying. Nobody is saying. I want to go play with Jalen Brunson. Ain't nobody saying that. Stop.
You mentioned those names, KD and LeBron. I'm saying
nobody's saying I want to go play with Jalen Brunson.
He's one of the top leading scorers in the playoffs. Currently at 30 points a game.
Again, that's pointless. What has he done?
No, it's not.
What has he done?
He's a
listen, dude. Listen. You just got finished sitting here talking about nobody want to come to LA because nobody want to play. Who wants to go to New York? Who has they gotten?
It's a more attractive destination.
Stop it. They haven't won anything in 25 years.
Listen, you guys, you're resting on 17 championships or whatever.
I'm not resting. Hold on.
Last 5 years.
No. I mean, the Lakers. Hold on. The Lakers' last championship came 5 years ago.
I know, but since then you guys have been the same. Since then, New York has been better than you guys.
Whoa. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me finish. The Lakers' last championship came 5 years ago. You bringing up these stupid, irrelevant stats. Oh, since then, y'all lost this round. But they won 5 years ago.
Okay, hold on. You're missing what I'm saying, though.
No. The Knicks.
You guys won that
the New York Knicks.
But since then, the Knicks have been better than y'all.
The New York Knicks haven't gone to the conference finals in 25 years.
Okay, but listen, if you add that,
you can't say that. Hold on. The Lakers were just in the conference finals. How's the New York Knicks better than the Lakers?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
What I'm saying is that
you try to make it sound right.
No. Hold on.
No.
Go ahead. Go
yes,
ahead.
Please. I'm just trying to figure out that horrible statement about how the Knicks is better than the Lakers when the Lakers just went to the conference finals 2 years ago. The Knicks haven't been in 25 years. Please let me know how the Knicks is better. Oh, but that's a destination everybody want to go? Huh? Come on, man. Isaiah, I've heard you say some dumb things, but this was one of the dumbest.
I think I got something for you. Hold on.
You better go Google something. Come on, what you got?
Okay.
You better bring about how the Knicks ain't been to a conference finals in 25 years.
Right, so here's the thing. When you add up, you're talking about conference finals, but you add up the times where you guys missed the playoffs, you got put out in the first round or whatever. If you add up all that with the conference finals appearance, I still would go with the Knicks, with the Knicks resume in the last couple years. Because the last couple years, 2024, they lost in this conference semifinals. 2023, conference semifinals.
Second round.
Lost in
a go ahead. All of them gonna be second round or first round. Go ahead.
That's more than what. That's more than
years. For the last 25 years, you only gonna get to the second round. Come on, bro.
At the end of the day, I would go with that versus getting tossed out in the first round the last 2 years and then not making the playoffs. Come on, bro.
Man, stop it. Look, the Lakers have a winning culture. Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq. Hold on, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, AD. The Knicks ain't got that, bro.
A winning history, but not a culture. That's two different things.
Winning culture. Lakers win. Lakers win. Absolutely. The New York Knicks don't win. The New York Knicks don't win. They don't win, bro.
They still playing and y'all not. How about that?
Yeah, until next round. Hey, it only may be a few more days if they keep playing around with Detroit. But if not, if not, they'll be in Cancun with us in 2 weeks.
If your prediction is wrong, like it normally is, then they'll be weak tonight.
Watch this. Hold on, watch this. I'm gonna shut your mouth. Watch this. The New York Knicks beating Boston Celtics? Yes or no? Come on now. Are they going to beat?
I already said they're not beating
Boston. Okay. Does that mean hold on. That mean another second round exit, right?
Okay, so right? Are you guys beating
right?
Oh, my bad. That happened.
Another second round exit, right? Hold on. Another second round exit, right? Yeah, come on, Isaiah. I done got you. I should
have bet you and made you wear a clown suit.
Listen, man, you just proved my point.
She was gonna lose.
Listen, you just proved my point. Yet again, the New York Knicks are going to go home in the second round.
I should have bet you wear a clown suit because you was talking all that trash yesterday that the Lakers going to win. So I should have bet you that if y'all lost, you should have. You should have. I would have been out here looking like Doink the Clown. You should have. Especially because you're generally mostly always wrong. Like,
listen,
so,
man, listen.
I not bet you.
Listen. I ain't wrong about these Knicks. I ain't wrong about these Knicks.
Hold on. I think I have an idea. How about let's bet that if the Detroit loses tonight, you have to wear a clown suit. We'll be getting
I don't own a clown suit.
You got so much confidence. You got so much confidence in your boys.
I don't own a clown suit.
So at least get some makeup, get the little hair.
Listen.
Nose.
Listen. I'm listen. The New York Knicks. All I'm saying is, I got Detroit coming back winning this series, but I'm not fixing to sit here and say, "Oh, I bet $1,000 that they're going to win." No.
Well, guess
if
what?
The Detroit Pistons come out. Listen, hold on. If the Detroit Pistons come out with that same energy that they gave in Game 5, then yes, Detroit will win. You're home. You're going to have the home crowd, the adrenaline. Absolutely.
Well, absolutely. You're going home tonight, sir.
That's all right. That's all right.
You're going to join your Lakers right at home.
That's all right. Hey. All I'm saying is the Knicks don't play around with it because, the Knicks only go to the second round anyway. So they are the king of the second round. I will give them that. So I want to ask you this question before we get off. This question has been at best, I guess we could say, who is your, I don't know if I want to say teams or players.
Top 5 of all time?
Yeah, teams or players.
I'm going to go players.
Stay with. So who would you give? Because I mentioning the Knicks, the Knicks don't have a top 5 player of all time. So when you look at prestige, that's part of culture. In order to be a top 5, so who would you say your top 5 player of all time are? And then I'll give you mine.
But that's easy. So of course we have Michael, the great Jordan, Jeffrey Jordan, right?
Right.
The reason. That doesn't have to be explained. The reason my number 2, I'm going to explain why, because most people are like, huh, what? The reason I have Kobe Bryant as my number 2 is because they always think about Kobe's career with Shaq and all that, and that's great, right? But he actually won 2 back-to-back titles without a top 75 player against a big 3 and actually 4 Hall of Famers in Rondo, Pierce, Allen, and Garnett. And that's tough. So he won 2 back-to-back. One of them was through them, and then one of them was through Orlando. Which that team, Orlando, they actually beat. I think they beat LeBron and them in LeBron's Cavs to get to the finals that year because it was supposed to be with the bobblehead. It was supposed to be LeBron against Kobe, or whatever. So that also remember that because that's also a knock on LeBron. So I think those 5 championships. And those back-to-back titles without a top 75 player, and that puts Kobe in my second. My third would actually be the most dynamic center to ever play the game would be Shaq. And actually, instead of Shaq, I'll go with Magic as my number 3. And Magic is my number 3 because he has 5 championships. But then the skill of his passing was like, that's why they call it Showtime. It was better than it's probably better than any of LeBron's skills put together. because it was so crazy. It was amazing, and he won Finals MVP and the Finals as a rookie, right? So Magic is slept on a lot. I know a lot of people look at longevity and things like that, but my fourth spot, I put Shaquille O'Neal in there because he was so dominant. Like, we've never seen a force like that. LeBron is good and he's moves and everything, but Shaq's heyday when he was just dunking on people and doing crazy stuff, like, was crazy. And I think he has 4 championships. He has 4 championships just like LeBron. He has some Finals MVPs and stuff like that. And I mean, Shaq was a locomotive. He's nothing we've ever seen before. And then my number 5 would, of course, be LeBron. As much as I don't, necessarily care for him because he always compares himself to Jordan when he's more like Magic as far as in his style of play. He's done a lot of great things. He has 4 championships. He came back from 3-1 or whatever that was in that series against the Warriors. He's put up points and he has he's called the Akron Hammer, and he can kind of do a lot of things that lead to winning. Even though his style of play sometimes against like the Magic, which I mentioned earlier, when they lost that series, and then they lost to Dallas, which they were supposed to win that series. Like, those are blemishes that I can't put on anybody else's finals record, but his. But again, that's not an indictment on any of these players because I got MJ, Kobe, Magic, Shaq, LeBron. So Magic is my number 3.
All right. No, in no particular order. I mean, I'd have to agree, but I have to remove one. My top 5 would be MJ, obviously. No one will ever be Michael Jordan. There could be someone who skillfully comes around and become better than him, but right now that person has never lived. Kobe was definitely the closest thing to him. And that's why Kobe is my number 2. Michael, obviously, going back to Michael, 6-0 finals. The man was spotless. I mean, goodness. He stopped a lot of greats from winning championships. He is the GOAT. He put basketball, he made it a global sport to where how we get Luka, Dirk Nowitzki, and all of these other international players. Number 2, obviously, is Kobe. Kobe is my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Kobe is who I grew up emulating. When I played basketball, when we shot the ball, everybody, Kobe. That's just what it was. Kobe was that guy. Kobe had the heart of a tiger. He had the heart of a person who he wasn't friends with people on the court. That's what we miss in today's game. He could be cool with you outside of the court, but on the court, people thought he was mean. They thought he just wanted to beat you. And obviously he's 5-2 in the finals. He was 5-2 in the finals. I have to go with Magic Johnson, even though he was 6 for 5, but still he's above 500 in the finals. But yeah, number 3, Magic Johnson.
So we agree on that.
Absolutely, yeah, we agree so far. Magic Johnson. I mean, the man won. You didn't say this, but we talked about it yesterday. The man won a championship in his rookie season, filling in for only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay, I mean, good God, that's impressive. And then I have LeBron James. I hate him or love him. I mean, LeBron James.
That's your 4th?
That's my 4th. Yep, LeBron James. Hate him or love him, LeBron is definitely the greatest small forward of all time, period. And then number 5 is where we differ. I actually am fixed in between here. They're kind of, it's 5, 5, 5.5. Tim Duncan, the greatest power forward of all time. His record is 4.
I want to talk about him after your next one. I want to tell you
because you definitely interrupted me, and I didn't interrupt you when you gave your little 5. Tim Duncan, you can say what you want to, Mr. Fundamentals, the greatest power forward of all time. I mean, he was exemplified professionalism, and he was the true silent assassin before Steph Curry. Duncan didn't talk trash to you. He went out there and he backboarded you for a 50-piece with 20 rebounds. to death. That's what he did. And then my other, I'm kind of in between is Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, yeah.
He don't get the credit that he deserves. Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So those are my top. So that's that.
Okay, so real quick, like Tim Duncan, great power forward. He's probably the best power forward of all time. Great, right?
No problem. He was.
But here's the thing: the difference between those other guys, the other guys that we named, they're franchise players. Tim Duncan had a cast of guys around him. Even though he was good skillfully by himself, he didn't drive the bus like for every the way that LeBron. Listen, the way LeBron did, the way Kobe did, the way Jordan did, and the way Shaq did, or in Magic. He didn't drive the bus.
Just said, "Oh my God."
He didn't. He always
for the system.
I know, but listen. He always had other guys that really offset, some of the different things that he couldn't do. Like he was great, whatever. But he was when the game was on the line, he was not taking the winning shot most times. You get what I'm saying? Like he wasn't that guy in that way. What was he a good player? Of course he was a great player.
LeBron James is that guy? No, he don't take the winning shot. So no, you can't hold.
Now he does. Now
you can't hold. No, we talking about throughout the career. You can't hold because a person has either I took the last shot. Now you can't do that. You cannot. We can't base that off of that.
I don't think he compares to those guys. I mean, Tim Duncan is not even. I mean, I wouldn't even put him over Larry. I know he has a lot of champion. Like a lot of times with Tim Duncan, is because he has a lot of team success. That's what kind of feels. Oh, he has 5 championships or whatever. But I don't think he's better than like Larry Bird or Hakeem. I don't even think he's better than Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yes,
Hakeem Olajuwon is better than.
No, he's not.
Hakeem Olajuwon is better than Duncan.
No,
Duncan just had more team success.
No, he's not. No,
I challenge anybody in the comments.
I don't care what the people in the comments say. Yo, y'all really think? Yes, please comment. Let us know. Do you really think Kareem, what's his name? Hakeem Olajuwon was overall better than Tim Duncan. That is crazy at its finest.
He could shoot better. He had better footwork.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Footwork. Okay, I'm talking about overall. We're not sitting here trying to pick something that's better. Tim Duncan was a great defender.
Okay,
he was an excellent defender. Absolutely.
Anybody who knows basketball will tell you Hakeem Olajuwon is better than Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan just had the ring because his teams were always better, and he had a better coach, and he had Mano, he had Kawhi, he had David Robinson, he had Mario Elie, he had Steve Kerr at one point, like Dennis Rodman at one point. Like, come on,
man, stop it.
See, that's why your signal went out because even the signal was like, no, we can't rock with that. Like,
hey, I don't care what it say. I don't care what it say. Let me tell you something, man. First off, Tim Duncan. Let's just talk about the hardware, okay? And you don't want to hear all that. Then we talk about career averages. Tim Duncan, 5 rings. All right. Hakeem, 2. Tim Duncan obviously got more titles. Here we go with some career averages. Points per game. Tim Duncan, he averaged for his career 19 points. Okay. All right. 10 rebound or 10.8 and 2.2 blocks. All right. Hakeem, once again, given the how can I say this? Remember, Tim Duncan played in a mix. He played in a dual era. Because I think Duncan was drafted in 97. So he came in at the tail of that Kareem, or I keep saying Kareem, that Hakeem Olajuwon era where people didn't really shoot threes. They attacked the basket and whatnot. So Hakeem was averaging 21.8 overall his career. Listen, bro, listen. It was, but you got to look at eras. It was a big man era.
Same era. They overlapped.
They did not play in the same era. Listen. Hakeem Olajuwon prime was the late 80s all the way to the mid 90s. Tim Duncan's prime wasn't until after the Lakers run when they started theirs in 2003.
Okay, let me tell you how they oversay. Because remember, when Michael Jordan had retired or whatever, one of those times, the Rockets had won that championship. Was it in 94?
Can I finish with the stats real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Because you say he was a better defender. Well, the stats don't say that. Stats don't say that. Tim Duncan, 15-time all defensive team.
Okay, how many defensive players a year?
Hold on. Hakeem only 9 times. Two defensive
But he
players.
had two
Okay,
defensive
cool.
players of the year, though.
Okay, cool. But once again, that counted that offsets 15-9, bro. That's a big difference. Big difference. All right. So I mean, look, both great. But Tim Duncan, top 10 defender. Hakeem isn't. He's not in that top 10. I'm sorry. You need that defensive. You need that all defensive.
Hakeem Olajuwon is the all-time NBA leading scorer for blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, absolutely.
So
look,
again,
both are good defenders.
You have to have a coach's eye to actually understand what I'm saying.
I ain't got nothing to do with no coach eye. Listen. If we did a poll, and I'm talking about the GMs, whoever, if you could take Tim Duncan or Hakeem Olajuwon in their prime,
yes.
I guarantee you they're going to take Tim Duncan. Absolutely.
Not happening.
Tim Duncan, absolutely. Mr. Fundamental. Absolutely. Tim Duncan. I mean, at the end of the day, they're both great players, but for me, it was Tim Duncan. Yeah. Mike says Tim Duncan was better than the Dream. Not even a discussion. Thank you. I mean, I agree. It's not even a discussion. It's not. Tim Duncan was the man. But we got Willie Stewart say Hakeem better than Duncan. I mean, it's 50-50 right now. It's 50-50 right now. I mean, but, I'm taking Duncan. Duncan played in the era where, you shot the 3-2. Olajuwon didn't really have to do that. He didn't have to deal with chasing, these little guards or whatnot.
Agile, he shot better. He was more like an AD back.
He played in the mid-range area. They don't do that now. Yeah, he played in the mid-range area.
But the point is, what I'm saying is that because they didn't have the 3-point shot like that, he could have shot threes or whatever, but that wasn't the style of the game back then. He was better than that. And that's close. I mean, I'm not saying that Duncan was trash, but it was pretty close. Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon is Duncan.
Right. Nor am I saying Hakeem Olajuwon was trash, but if we're going top 10 or top 15, Hakeem Olajuwon don't make that top 15. I'm sorry. But Tim Duncan will. I'm serious. Yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon's not even going to make the top 3 in centers.
No, that's
absolutely. No, absolutely.
Both of them are power forwards anyway.
Hakeem was a center, sir. He was 7 foot. And Tim Duncan was 7 foot.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, he was a power forward.
Hakeem Olajuwon was a center. But
right,
they listed Duncan as a power forward, though.
Yeah, I know that because he started with David Robinson, who was another great shooter like Hakeem. At that time, though, a lot of centers could shoot. I mean, that wasn't nothing new. So you can't just say, oh, he could shoot. Yeah, he could. He was a great shooter. He had good footwork. Nobody's saying that. But Tim Duncan had great footwork, too. That post footwork was good. You can't say Tim Duncan had a team, but everyone else in your list didn't have a team. That's flawed argument, though. He talk about you.
He's not understanding what I'm saying.
Tell him what you said.
There's a difference between the Spurs system that they always had a factory of players versus the Rockets. The Rockets were only good for a few years during that time, but they weren't like as dominant. Like once Greg Popovich and them got the Spurs rolling, they kept rolling, right? They were a team to be reckoned with. Houston wasn't like that. They were almost like the bad boy Pistons. Remember how the Pistons had their windows? They won like a championship or two, and then they just kind of dissipated. That's pretty much what the Rockets were. Because it wasn't no real system like that. Now, if you put Hakeem Olajuwon in that Popovich system, that's a total different thing. Because their GM was so good, they were getting players like Rodman, Kerr, like Bulls players, like all different types of great players to keep their dynasty going.
Yeah, listen, I agree with Mike. He say so. You just move the goalpost.
No, it's comprehension. It's comprehension on this level. That's what it is.
Willie say Hakeem played both the 4 and 5. He did play with Ralph Simpson, who was like 7'3", 7'4", who was the 5. Yeah, but the systems overall were totally different in the 80s. Than it was in the early 2000s, late 2000s. So, I kind of do agree though, man. I mean, look, both of them were great players, but I'm going, and that's my list. I don't know why you trying to do all that to talk about my list. My list is Tim Duncan, greater than Hakeem Olajuwon. You can't get mad at me about my list. Goodness, it's my list.
That's your list, man. I'll let you live in your delusion.
Well, it ain't a delusion. I could have said your list was a delusion. You got Shaq over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I could say that.
Well, here's the thing. I had to put LeBron into my top 5, so I had to make a decision on Kareem or LeBron, and I made the decision to put LeBron in, and then I had to choose between Shaq or Kareem. And Shaq in their prime, if they go one-on-one and just throw the ball in the post, Shaq would eat him alive.
On who? On who?
On Kareem, because he would just back his time down.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
And put his elbow.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You better go. Kareem was a bad man, and I think sometimes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a victim. I think he's a victim of the time he played. I
watched his game.
But no, you wasn't even born when he played. One of my point is, you seen highlights.
I went back.
You seen highlights. I know you seen highlights, but once again,
I watched his games. I watched his games.
Boy, listen, you only watched highlights.
No, I'm telling you,
it's a replay. It's a replay. Okay. I'm sorry, Doc Brown, Emmett Brown. You went into a time machine and you went back in the 70s and watched them play.
You're not paying attention.
I am listening. You know, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I didn't say I went back into a time machine.
I know what you're saying. My point is, you're only saying you went back and reviewed some footage. You watched the game.
I watched his game, his actual games. You can go back. Like they used to have a thing called NBA Classics, if you remember that correctly.
Why are you literally sitting here saying the exact same thing? Am I being punked? He's literally, you saying the exact same thing that I just said. I know that. You went back in the archives and watched some film of the man games. My point is, people who are 70, 60, they'll tell you, oh no, that's like Michael Jordan. The generation today don't know what it was like being alive during that time when Michael came to arena or played against your team. We can tell these young jitterbugs like, yo, Michael was a bad man. Well, we hear, but we see the video. We went back and watched tape. No, if you didn't live during that time, you don't understand how much Michael Jordan influenced the game. Yes, it is true.
Let me tell you why.
Do y'all hear this man?
That's true to a certain point, but listen. You're not talking to just an average fan. You're talking also to a coach.
You sound like an average fan right now. You sound like an average fan.
No. You're talking to a coach. So it's our job to assess film and recruit, for recruits and pretty much evaluate them of like what their future progress will be. So I'm used to looking at film and being able to pick out things that the average person can't pick out to try to piece together, okay, is this a person I should recruit? Is this a person I shouldn't, or whatever? So it's the same thing with looking at his film. Okay, I'm watching the whole game. I'm watching how you move it. I'm like, okay. And even to me, how he moved, even though he had a lot of points and things like that, when I looked at like people like Wilt Chamberlain, he was more like LeBron, kind of like really, really physical. Like really, he was actually someone to really, really, really be
playing against people who were average height, 6 foot. Okay. Listen, man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think all I'm trying to tell you is I think he's a victim, just like Wilt Chamberlain. They're victims of their eras. Wilt Chamberlain dominated because he was the most dominant player. But even then, he only had 2 rings. You know what I'm saying? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was definitely beyond his time. So I think, you're talking about 50 years ago, almost. Of course, he's gonna wither down. People are gonna say, "Oh yeah, Kareem." But if you lived it, if you actually lived that time, you will say, "No, Kareem was that dude." And a lot of the older heads, they're like, "Yo, Kareem is the GOAT." I'm serious. There are some people look at you and be like, when you say Michael Jordan the GOAT, they say, "Oh no, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the GOAT," because they lived that time. They witnessed the man play. They seen what he did to his competitors. That's all I'm saying, bro. I don't care. You can go back and look at something 500 years from now. You can come back and look and be like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm scanning, I'm scouting this. I'm looking." No, of course time's gonna change. But that player during that moment, the reaction he had from people, you'll never experience. Listen, you will never experience that. I don't care what kind of scouting or analytics you do. Unless you live that moment, you will never be able to experience how great a player was. Same with Michael Jordan. The same with Michael Jordan.
That's why you have professionals and you have average Joes like you. So
yeah, well,
you can't piece together. I mean, we do it with everything else. We piece together history by being able to.
How well did the professionals do with Kwame Brown? How well they do with Kwame Brown? Huh?
That's
Anthony Bennett. Or Anthony Bennett. Yeah, y'all. Those were number one draft picks. Those were number one draft picks who were flops. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Played in the league.
Blah, blah, blah. Just because you got a professional title don't mean you know your stuff. because there are a lot of amateurs do stuff way better than professionals.
I'll be sure to watch you in that clown suit tomorrow when your team lose. So
blah 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 blah.
I'll be sure to watch you in that clown suit.
Yo, Mike, I agree. Your name need to be goalpost mover. Just because you coach don't mean you actually know the game. That is true now. That is true. That is true. Don't hide behind a title. Don't hide behind a title.
I don't hide behind titles. I'm him. So.
Oh, he's him. Hey, Austin Reeves said he was him too.
But we'll see you in that clown suit tomorrow that you'll be sporting.
Hey man, listen. All right. Listen, listen. So yeah, we're getting ready to get off, man. But prediction. Who you got tonight? I think we got 2 games tonight. Yeah, we got the Denver Nuggets. All right. Do the Denver Nuggets close out the series tonight? Yes or no?
Yes, Denver closed out the series tonight, and the Knicks
in LA.
Yes.
So you got both teams closing out, and both teams on the road now.
Yep.
Wow. I don't. I have the Clippers winning tonight. They're home. They've been playing great at home. I definitely see that one going in Game 7, and I don't know who's gonna win that one. I'm gonna be honest.
Because you're always wrong. Let's try to see if you can just say the opposite so we can reverse jinx it.
No. I got Clippers winning tonight because they play good at home. Bruh, first off, their worst game was the last game of the series. That was their worst game. They're gonna bounce back. Yeah, I don't see them having 2 back-to-back horrible games. And then Game 7 is a toss-up. I'm serious. I don't know who's gonna win that series. You hear me saying that? I don't know who's gonna win. They are evenly matched. Now, Detroit, I got Detroit tonight. They better win. But yeah, I mean, they have to win. But I got Detroit tonight in a Game 7. New York could win it, obviously, but hey, that's be another toss-up because New York don't want to play around with fire. You play with fire, Mike. I know you're a Knicks fan. You play with fire, you get burnt. That's all I'm saying. The Knicks are definitely the better team. I'm not saying they're not. But just because you're a better team don't mean you can't lose. Look at Dallas Mavericks. Back in the day when they was number 1 and they lost to the Golden State Warriors, the number 8 seed. So anything can happen. All I'm saying is take care of the business you're supposed to take care of. Don't play with your food. It might drop on the floor. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, my man. So you picking Clippers tonight, and you picking the Nuggets tonight.
Correct.
And you picking the what you call it tonight. All right.
Knicks.
The Knicks. All right. Well, we're gonna see. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. This is what we do, man. We talk sports over here. That's right. It's a love-hate relationship. When we talking sports, I don't agree with them. I don't like it. But other than that, we cool, man. We cool. So, all right, my man. I appreciate you, Isaiah. Let me see. Mike say he got the Clippers Knicks. He got Clippers winning tonight, and he got the Knicks winning tonight. All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. All right, my man. So, man, appreciate y'all. Y'all, man, make sure y'all stay focused. Because over here, this is where the culture talk back. All right, I'll let y'all.